Okay, now this happened a couple months ago.
Yeah, somehow we missed this.
And look, the reason we're talking about this, it's the 4th of July.
Fireworks.
So, fireworks, you guys got to be, responsible, I'd say. Well, you don't have to be, but it'd be nice if you were.
Yeah.
I request that, please.
Yeah.
Be responsible. Don't set anyone's house on fire.
Because this apartment blew up because of fireworks storage.
Yeah.
They're storing a bunch of fireworks.
Yep, let's take a look. It's quite the explosion.
Thought it was very apt for today.
Yeah, for sure. And this is very scary again.
Yeah, look at this. This is Guilin in Sichuan in western China. Look at this landslide.
Yeah.
Don't landslides look so unimpressive, and then you see the aftermath, and you're like, "Holy crap!"
You don't want to be anywhere near a landslide. No. They're terrible, absolutely terrifying.
It's wiped out like a whole area. Pretty rough.
Yep.
Just a little taste of what we're going to show you in a little bit.
Again, we're dealing with a situation in China right now where there's a lot going on, like a lot of crazy things happening. So it's sometimes better to just show you a little smattering of each thing to give you an idea.
For sure.
So landslides, we've been seeing massive floods. We've seen infrastructure collapsing.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of happening all at once. It's another mandate of heaven moment.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. If I was a superstitious Chinese person, I would think this is a very mandate of heaven adjacent time period.
Problem is, it seems to happen every year.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's just happened so much daily in China now that it's gotten kind of like you get used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But think about it, like news doesn't spread in China because everything's censored locally, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So a lot of people are not going to know what's happening in the rest of the country.
Yep.
We had this.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we missed this. I think this came out a little bit later.
Yes, it did. It did.
There was a forced demolition in Wuhan. So like where COVID's from. Right?
Yes.
COVID comes from Wuhan.
Where COVID was engineered in a lab.
In a lab.
Yeah.
In Wuhan, there was a forced demolition. You usually see these in the countryside. The government comes in and goes, we need this land. And so they forcefully remove people. This was in the city. And tons of people had to get removed. And then they demolished it. And people were pissed. They're like, this is my home.
For sure.
You have zero rights in China.
That's the thing. And most people who glaze China say China's a fantastic place. One of the things they say is, there's so much stability and, the government looks after the people. And it's absolutely untrue.
No, it's nuts.
I made a bit of a joke about this, and it's funny, the reactions. This is McDonald's. I'd like you to take a note of how many homeless people are sleeping here. And they are homeless because they're not sleeping in a home.
Overnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's take a look.
This is not in the middle of the day.
Okay, let's try to count. Okay, so we got one guy sleeping there, another guy on those benches, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9,
9, yes, 9 in the distance, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 2 people on the bench over there. 16 people sleeping in the McDonald's in China. 17.
With their bags.
So that was 17.
Yes.
So I made a little joke on Twitter. I posted, I said, America, is helping the homeless people in China, because the Chinese government does, but American companies like McDonald's allow the homeless to sleep there overnight.
They let them take McNaps.
Yeah, McNaps, man, did I get a lot of pushback.
That's actually sleeping overnight, though.
It is.
I know, I saw the vitriol you got back, because it's kind of interesting. This is great. Take your notes if you're some sort of influence operations guy. Yeah. If you want to fight back against China, what they're mad at right now is if you point out that there's homeless people in China.
Yeah. Now I understand that the majority of those people are either they're busy going somewhere.
Don't bring this LGBT stuff into this.
No,
that's not part of this argument.
Transient.
Just joking.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is, usually if somebody's going to travel to another town or something, they don't want to spend money in a hotel. Then they'll sleep in a McDonald's, or maybe they are just homeless. It's possible too.
There are many homeless right now.
But it's kind of a normal thing to see people sleeping randomly in restaurants. In fact, during lunch breaks, if you go to a restaurant in China, even in a posh shopping mall, I filmed it with you together.
Yeah, I remember.
You get people just there on their lunch break. They'll just sleep in a nice restaurant in the middle of a shopping mall.
On the table.
On the table, yeah. It's weird. Or in a Burger King or something. Anyway, This over here is in Shanghai. So now we're talking about China's most sophisticated city. And
the Internet Post here said that's not our subtitle over there. The Internet Post says Taiwanese visitor was shocked, so he filmed it.
This is yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. People just sleeping.
He was like, "What?" Apparently, this guy's Taiwanese. He was like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah. Look how many. There's like 3-4 people there so far. But people just sleeping in the McDonald's.
Having a mixed news.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing though. Like whether you want to argue that these people are homeless or not, this is just not very good behavior, because these people are lying down on the benches, you know, with their taking up the whole bench, so customers can't use them.
Killing the McVibe.
Yeah, exactly. And this is in Shanghai, the most sophisticated city. So this is a common thing that you'll find around China, is people just sleeping in the restaurants.
Yes, I do want to counter that by saying, don't give too much benefit of the doubt here. These are not people taking a little break from work.
No, they're not.
These are probably homeless people.
No, they are. They're homeless. Yeah. They are homeless. They can't afford a hotel. They don't have a place to sleep.
Or their rent. The rent is too expensive now.
And you got to understand that. Like, if you are sleeping overnight in a McDonald's on a hard plastic bench,
yes,
it means you have nowhere else to go.
Yes.
You know? And again,
I do want to read something here.
What's that?
Just for some context.
Sure.
I believe you're going to be talking about this. I'll give a little taste.
All right.
A small apartment. So a small apartment, the smallest apartment. So a 1-bedroom apartment, right? Yeah. You don't have a family in this.
Sure.
Costs $500,000. Okay,
yes.
In Shanghai. But the minimum wage there is $370 a month. So how do you buy a $500,000 apartment when you make $300 a month? So because people they always use this argument on me. They're like, well, China is much more affordable. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not.
A Brooklyn apartment is also expensive, but you don't make $300 a month.
No, you don't.
That doesn't make sense, right? And Shanghai's got Western prices.
That's the problem, is the people that say China's affordable are the people that are visiting there.
Yes.
It's the people that are coming from a developed country where they earning, or a country where they earn
Western
a decent
wage,
amount of money. Yeah. When you're earning Chinese money in China, it's not affordable at all. At all. And quite honestly, though, this always boggled my mind, is when you live in the cities, like when I lived in Shenzhen, people buy an apartment and they're paying, say, 30,000 RMB mortgage every month.
Yeah.
But their salary is 8,000. And I'm like,
do the math.
How is that possible? And it's all because they take loans, and they also club money in from family and stuff to pay for the things. It's not a system that can sustain, you know? I remember you left my spirit, with you high is all I'm feeling. So you've been sold this dream, but it's not materializing. What do? You're young, you're full of youthful energy, you get out there, you get on your little bikes, and you go around beating the crap out of each other, basically. Yeah. Ah, she's awake.
What do you think they're going to get up to when there's no job prospects?
What is this? Chilling out, and all of a sudden,
this is just...
he spills it all over his hand. Naked man appears.
Naked man jumps into frame, chasing a woman, followed by another woman who he then hugs.